Hello and welcome back to another video on legends and myths. Today I'll be telling you the story of the most knowledgeable god in Egyptian mythology, Thoth, the god of wisdom. Thoth is known for being the Egyptian god of magic, wisdom, writing, knowledge, and the moon. He was one of the most important gods of ancient Egypt, alternately said to be self-created or born of the seed of Horus from the forehead of Set. As the son of these two deities, representing order and chaos respectively, he was also god of equilibrium. In this regard, he was also associated closely with both the principle of Ma'at, divine balance, and the goddess Ma'at, who personified this principle and who was sometimes seen as his wife. Another of his consorts was the goddess Nehemetawi, she who embraces those in need, a protector goddess. In his form as Aeon, Thoth presided over the judgment of the dead with Osiris in the Hall of Truth, and those souls who feared they might not pass through the judgment safely were encouraged to call upon Thoth for help. The consort most often associated with Thoth was Seshat, goddess of writing, the keeper of books, and patron goddess of libraries and librarians, who was alternately his wife or daughter. Thoth's Egyptian name was Djehuty, also Djehuty, meaning he who is like the ibis. The ibis was a sacred bird in ancient Egypt, as well as a popular pet associated with wisdom. Other forms of his name are Djehuty, Tahuti, Djehuty, Techu, Tetu, and Lord of the Kamenu, the later city of Hermopolis, which was his major cult center. Hermopolis was so named because of the Greek association of Thoth with their god Hermes, and to the Greeks Thoth became Hermes Trismegistus, Thoth the thrice great. He was also known as Lord of Ma'at, Lord of Divine Words, Scribe of Ma'at in the company of the gods, and as a just and incorruptible judge. According to one myth, Thoth was born from the lips of Ra at the beginning of creation, and was known as the god without a mother. In another tale, Thoth was self-created at the beginning of time, and, as an ibis, lays the cosmic egg which holds all of creation. He was always closely associated with Ra and the concept of divine order and justice. In a third story, when Horus and Set are fighting for the right to rule, Thoth is said to have been created from the semen of Horus, which was accidentally swallowed by Set during the struggle. Thoth was born from Set's forehead, and in some versions, then mediated the struggle between the gods. In other versions, the battle between Horus and Set is resolved by Neith, and in others, by Isis. In every version, Thoth is the scribe who records the events of the contest and offers advice to the gods. He heals both Horus and Set at different times in their battle in order to make sure that both sides are equally capable and none can gain advantage over the other, so that the contest will be fair. In this same way, Thoth presided over justice on earth among human beings. As Thoth was credited with the creation of a number of branches of knowledge, which was law, magic, philosophy, religion, science, and writing, he was thought to be an infallible judge capable of rendering completely just decisions. The Greeks admired him so much that they credited him as the originator of all knowledge on earth and in the heavens. He was so important to the gods, and especially to Ra, that he was the god chosen to retrieve Ra's daughter from the distant lands she sometimes fled to. The motif of the distant goddess appears in a number of Egyptian myths, but always has the same meaning no matter who the specific goddess is or where she has gone. Ra's daughter disagrees with him on some matter and leaves him to vanish into some far-off land, and someone has to be sent to bring her back. Upon her return, she brings some sort of transformation to the people. The distant goddess story also always involved the Eye of Ra, the all-seeing eye, which Ra needed on a daily basis. It was therefore imperative that the goddess be brought back quickly, and Eye returned, but she was too powerful to be forced, and the task called for subtlety. As a reward for his services, Thoth was given the goddess Nehemetawi as his consort, who was a pacified version of the distant goddess. Thoth was also instrumental in the birth of the original 5 gods of Egypt. When Nut became pregnant by Geb at the beginning of the world, Ra was so angry he decreed she would not give birth on any day of the year. Thoth gambled with Ea, the moon god, for 5 days' worth of moonlight. He won the gamble and divided Ea's moonlight into 5 days of sunlight, which were not part of the year as decreed by Ra. Nut was then able to give birth to each of her children, who were Osiris, Isis, Set, Nephthys, and Horus, on each of the days. Even though Ra had been angry with his daughter Nut, he relented and honored Thoth for his part in getting around Ra's decree. Thoth was given a seat of honor in the skyboat, which crossed the heavens by day, and by night, Thoth helped to drive away the serpent Apophis, also known as Apep, who sought to destroy the sun god. His participation in the overthrowing of Apophis linked him to the cycle of day and night, and so immediately to the lives of human beings. Thoth created the written word people used to record their history and keep track of their daily lives. According to some myths, Thoth invented the word and gave it to humanity, while, in others, Thoth was the creator and his consort Seshat gave words to the people. In still other variations, Thoth was the creator, but Osiris or Isis gave words to humanity. In every case, Thoth is the creator of written language and the literary arts both for humans and the gods. Thoth was therefore linked with the concept of fate, even though this responsibility was shared in different variations of the myths from different eras with the 7 Hathors or other deities. As the record-keeper of the gods, Thoth also kept account of the days of human beings. He is seen in a number of images keeping track of the days and numbering the years by which the Egyptian scribes were able to record the country's history. Scribes, naturally, claimed Thoth as their patron and began each day honoring him. A statue from the 18th dynasty shows Thoth as a baboon with the lunar disk on his head, seated above a working scribe at his writing desk. The work of these scribes was, hopefully, approved of by Thoth, who then gave leave to Seshat to house them in her immortal library and protect them in earthly ones. The concept of writing making the author immortal was well respected in Egypt, as a scribe's work lived on after his death through the written words in books, but was also known by the gods, as Seshat kept the words in her heavenly books as well. Scribes had every reason to believe they would be welcomed warmly after death in the Hall of Truth and pass on to paradise in the Field of Reeds. Thoth appears regularly at the side of Osiris and Anubis in the Hall of Truth as the scribe who kept accounts of the life of the soul of the deceased and who records the outcome of the weighing of the heart against the feather of truth. His home in the afterlife, known as the Mansion of Thoth, provided a safe place for souls to rest and receive magic spells to help them against the demons who would prevent them from reaching paradise. His magic was also instrumental in the revitalization of the soul, which brought the dead back to life in the underworld. The association of writing with magic gave rise to the belief that Thoth had written magical treatises based on all he knew of the heavens, the earth, and the afterlife, and that these books were hidden away to be found by the initiates of later generations. This claim regarding Thoth and the 42 books was first made by the church father Clement of Alexandria, 150 to 215 CE, who recorded in his Stromata that they were written by the god Hermes. Hermes the god was later understood as Hermes the wise man, and in largely the manner the Book of Thoth has come into modern-day understanding. Thoth's main center of worship was at Hermopolis, but he was widely venerated throughout the land of Egypt. As with other gods, his temples and shrines would have served as a focal point for the community and a resource for counsel, spiritual advice, and general aid in procuring food or medical attention. The priests of Thoth were highly educated scribes, and his cult was closely associated with the ruling class. It was not only the monarchy or the educated elite who admired Thoth. His cult center at Hermopolis was extremely popular. Mummified ibises and baboons were sold to pilgrims coming to the festival as votive offerings to the gods. Excavations of the nearby necropolis of Tuna el Gebel revealed thousands of these mummified animals. Thoth was closely associated with Ra and the concept of divine order and justice. Thoth was credited with creating the art of writing, inventing the calendar, and controlling space and time. He was held to be the inventor of writing, the creator of languages, the scribe, interpreter, and advisor of the gods, and the representative of the sun god Re. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this to come. Feel free to let me know what other deities you would like for me to make a video on next. Take care, and I'll see you in the next myth.